UFC Austin is coming up in 2 weeks, and today I have one question for you. Just how good is this UFC card? We're going to talk about every single fight on the card briefly, why I'm excited for it, why I don't care to see the fight, and then we're going to come to a decision altogether at the end of the video and kind of give the card a rating, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about this afterwards. Before we get into the video, though, I do want to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's start off with the early prelim opener. So first off, we're starting off with a little bit of a stinker, but it depends how you want to look at it, because if you're just looking at the fight, then Veronica Hardy is not too bad. But if you're watching the actual fight, if you're watching the actual technique going on in MMA, this is going to be a stinker. This is going to make me some money because I'm probably going to bet 1.5 rounds if it's available. But honestly, there's nothing special about this fight. We're starting up. You know what? I'm okay with this because honestly, for my other channel, I will be recording. If you guys don't know, I have a bunch of YouTube channels. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels, right? I'm going to be recording and uploading a Fortnite event that starts at the exact same time as this. And I was like, oh man, because the Fortnite event gets so many views, right? So I'm going to record that. It's going to happen at 4 p.m. It's going to last like 15 minutes. I'm going to paste it on YouTube and bolt it over to my dad's house and watch this card because they both start at the same time again. So thank God this is the prelim opener because I'm going to be missing this fight. Then we have Wellington Turman versus Jared Gooden. Now, this fight's a little bit interesting for me to watch because I have been particularly interested in the fighters coming out of Teixeira MMA and Fitness because I'm one of the biggest Glover Teixeira fans out there. He is one of my, probably top 3 favorite fighters, to be honest with you, if not my favorite fighter. So I've always cheered for the guys coming out of that camp. Plus, Wellington Turman has been making some very nice improvements. I find it fascinating, especially in his last fight where you just see the Alex Pereira training. You see those non-telegraphed but yet powerful leg kicks coming from him. So I'm interested in this fight because of Wellington Turman. I want to see how much he's still improving. This is a pretty good fight. Next up, we have Ihor Potieria taking on Rodolfo Bellato. Now, this is a sneaky good fight. Very, very sneaky good fight because Ihor Potieria, while he's not necessarily a fan favorite, he does put on quite a few exciting performances. Now, Rodolfo Bellato is somebody that I've been very excited to watch into the UFC because he's just coming off of a fantastic performance in the Contender Series. But before that, I've been paying attention to this guy in the LFA. If you guys don't know, I'm a big fan of the LFA organization. This dude has potential to be the real deal in the light heavyweight division. So I'm excited for this. These two styles coming together will likely end in an absolute bang. Then we have another great fight that I'm looking forward to. Steve Garcia with the... oh my god, his style is always exciting. When you know Steve Garcia is coming, you know something crazy might happen. But he's taking on Miquel Costa, who has some very, very slick and nice techniques. So I'm very interested in the fact of whose game plan is it going to be able to implement. Is Steve Garcia going to be able to create that chaos? Is he going to come there and get this finish? But Miquel Costa has the technique where it is just absolutely beautiful to witness. So this is another good fight. I feel like for this entire fight, to be honest with you, this entire fight card, spoiler alert, it's a great card. I'm just excited for all of these fights. Now we have 2 prospects going at it. Joe Solecki versus Drakkar Klose. Now this is another sneaky good fight. Because on top of that, I don't know who's going to win this fight. The best fights to watch are the fights that you don't know who's going to win. And this is absolutely that fight. Both guys are on the come up. Both guys are really, really looking great in the UFC so far, and I cannot wait to see which one of them are able to implement their game plan. Can Joe Solecki get to the ground? Can Drakkar Klose stop the takedown, keep the game plan standing? Hopefully, I would imagine that's the game plan, right? It's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. And then, guys, we have the second stinker of the night, but it's not because of Zach Reese, because this dude is very exciting, but Cody Brundage has a way of just making a fight either disappointing or making a fight frustrating, and I expect him to do the exact same thing. But maybe Zach Reese could be just as exciting, and maybe he can get a finish on Cody Brundage. It's a long time coming. I can't remember who I watched. I was watching an MMA prediction video, and he said that karma was coming for Cody Brundage. MMA karma. It was pretty funny to me. Then we have Miesha Tate versus Julia Avila. Guys, I'm not excited for this fight. Miesha Tate sucks, and Julia Avila, there's nothing special about her. So this is going to be your low-level 135 bantamweight fight. Miesha Tate's going to lose, and then we're going to have to listen to her talk like she should have won the fight on paper like Anthony Smith. I'm not excited for this fight. Get off the featured fight of the prelims, please. Now, this fight I'm actually pretty interested in. We have Clay Guida versus Joaquim Silva. I always like watching Clay Guida fight. I've been a fan of Clay Guida for a very, very long time, but Joaquim Silva is coming off of almost stopping Arman Tsarukyan. So can he keep that momentum going? Because he did look good in this fight. I expect him to because Clay Guida is old now. It's always a pleasure watching Clay Guida fight. I always find it fascinating how he can still keep this cardio going at his old age. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. So I always like watching Clay Guida perform. Joaquim Silva is exciting, especially in his last fight. He was really, really exciting. So I'm excited for this one, man. Now, next up, we have a guaranteed banger in Khalil Rountree Jr. versus Azamat Murzakanov. This fight's going to end with somebody getting knocked out. Who's going to get knocked out? I don't know who's going to get knocked out. Khalil Rountree has a way of just making a fight so violent. Now, let's say Khalil Rountree gets a Muay Thai going. He's working. Murzakanov is like up against a fence. He doesn't know what to do. He's getting his knee blasted out, but this dude has the power. This dude is one of those fighters you can never count out. Bang! All of a sudden, he lands a shot. Khalil Rountree goes down. Like, there are so many possibilities for this fight. This is a must watch. Then we have Punahel Soriano taking on Dustin Stoltzfus. Now, Soriano is very exciting to watch because Soriano is always, he comes in there, guns blazing, ready to go, and all of a sudden, like, he either gasses out or he gets the finish. Don't know what's gonna happen here, so it's gonna be interesting to watch. Then we have my man Sean Brady taking on Kelvin Gastelum. Guys, Kelvin Gastelum is one of my favorite fighters of all time, so first of all, I'm just excited for that in general, but this is Kelvin Gastelum apparently on a diet, ready to go, ready to fight at the 170-pound division yet again. Can he have the success that he once did? That's the question, and that's why this fight is so exciting. He's taking on Sean Brady, who's coming off of a really rough loss to Bilal Muhammad. So how's he going to look, guys? This matchup is just so interesting for the division. It sells itself for a hardcore MMA fan. And then we have the fight that's going to hurt my heart because I'm a big fan of both guys. Rob Font versus Davison Figueiredo. Honestly, guys, this fight, I'm not even kidding right now. This fight actually knocks the card down for me because I don't want to see it. I don't want to see this fight. I don't want to see Rob Font lose, and I don't want to see Figgy lose. I don't. Both of them are so exciting. They both have like so much respect for me. I love the story of Rob Font on the come up. Davison Figueiredo has always been exciting, carrying the flyweight division on his back along with Brandon Moreno. Like both of them are in a career spot where they can't lose, and I don't want to see it, man. But it's such an interesting fight. So many different variables with Davison Figueiredo moving up 235 pounds. Is he going to still have the power? Is he going to deal with the range? Is he going to be chinny? Who knows? Like, how's Rob Font going to deal with Figgy's power? How's his power going to transition to 135? There are so many questions in this fight, and this fight is just so interesting. It's so interesting, but I don't want to see it. And speaking of interesting fights, we have Dan Hooker versus Bobby Green, the 5-round co-main event, which, in my opinion, should be a staple in UFC events. 5 rounds co-main event of Dan Hooker versus Bobby Green. 2 fighters that are going to stand there and are going to bang. If one of these fighters grapple, it will shock me. It will shock me. I have no clue who's going to win this fight. Both of them have no problem getting into an absolute war. You have Dan Hooker and his phenomenal kickboxing for the division against Bobby Green with a very slick boxing. Who's going to come out on top? I have no clue. Both of them are on a little bit of a roll. Both of them had a career resurgence. Who's going to continue on and maybe get a fight within the top 10 of the lightweight division? This is such an exciting fight, and this is an absolute banger. I refuse to believe that this has the potential to be a boring fight. And then, along with Kelvin Gastelum, we have another one of my favorite fighters of all time, Beneil Dariush versus Arman Tsarukyan. This is a close fight. Arman Tsarukyan has been on an absolute tear in the division, and in his last fight, he finally looked human for the first time in years, and Beneil Dariush is the guy who could actually take his chin off. Here's the question, Arman Tsarukyan's going to come in with a grapple-heavy game plan. Can Beneil Dariush out-scramble him? Can Beneil Dariush outstrike him? Absolutely, the possibility is there, and it's such an interesting matchup because I at least me, I don't know who's going to get on top. My gut's picking Arman Tsarukyan, but I absolutely can see a world where Beneil just clocks him like he did with Gamrot, just the same kind of highlight. Arman's grappling is very comparable to Gamrot, so man, it is just such a match. What a great matchup. Such high stakes in the division. Main event of a great fight night. This is the perfect fight to cap it off, guys. This fight is phenomenal. So how is this card, guys? How good is this card from top to bottom? Well, there's only a couple stinkers, and that being just because of Cody Brundage and Miesha Tate. So that sucks. You have Cody Brundage, Miesha Tate, and Julia Villo on the card. But think about all of the fights on this card. I think it almost nullifies it. Yeah, you know what? The Veronica Hardy fight's probably not going to be that great, but Veronica Hardy, you don't mind looking at Veronica Hardy. You know what I mean? So that is the rest of this card. The rest of this card is phenomenal. I give this. Do I give it a 10 out of 10? because of the couple stinkers that are on the card. So is it a perfect card? I feel like a 10 out of 10, you'd have to have a perfect card. I'm going to give this card a 9.5 out of 10. This is about as close to a perfect card that we've had, let alone all year, but fight nights in general. Is this the best card, like the most stacked card that we've had in recent history? Probably. There's no way this card doesn't deliver. I will be shocked if we do not have an exciting, like a whole exciting card. If we're not completely taken away from this and going, wow, that was amazing. I can't wait. I cannot wait for this card, guys. Let me know what you think. So my official rating for this card is a 9.5 out of 10. Let me know what you think down below, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching the video on the screen right now. If you'd like to continue watching the Clenbat channel, there'll be 2 videos on screen for you to check out right here. I will see you either there or in the next video, everybody. Take care.